Alright. Hi guys, my name is Donnie and welcome to my workshop. Thank you for joining me. In today's video we're gonna take off where we left off last time. So I'm gonna be putting the suspension and the shock or the springs and the props and the differential back on the car and the front suspension, and I'm going to be cleaning up the engine and painting the engine and cleaning up the rest of the stuff that goes on the engine and put that on the engine, and then I'm going to try to put the engine back on the chassis and a couple of other things also. So I want to continue, but before I do, I just want to say that I'm actually with this video celebrating my 600th subscriber, and I want to thank every one of you guys for subscribing. It means a lot to me. In YouTube world, 600 subscribers is not that much, but for me to think that there are at least 600 people that like watching what I do, it really means a lot. So thank you for that. But with all that said, let's continue. So reassembling this chassis is exactly the same as taking it apart, only it is not, because you take much more care to assemble a chassis after you've painted it and worked on it and everything like that. So it takes a bit longer, but I enjoy this part very much because this is where you start seeing how everything comes together and how it looks pretty. So I've got the suspension components all ready, and I've got these parts ready to install. So let's do it. Tell me honestly, when's the last time that you saw someone assemble a car and use period correct grease? Okay guys, so in this video what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to clean this engine up a little bit so that we can stick it back on the chassis and try and get it rolling so that I can put the body back and start work on that. Okay, so I got the engine torn down as far as I feel comfortable with. I'm not going to be removing the manifold because those bolts and nuts are very rusted. Um, but I'm just going to give it a nice clean and sanding down, and then I can paint it, and then we can start putting everything back together again. Okay guys, so now that I've got the engine painted, I'm just gonna give some attention to these parts that needs to go on the engine, like the dynamo or the generator and the starter and the carburetor and so on. So I'm just gonna give them a nice clean and paint, and then I can put them back on the engine, and then we can put the engine and gearbox and so on back on the chassis, and yeah, then we can continue from there on. Guys, so now I've got most of these parts cleaned and painted. I'm just gonna just clean the nuts and bolts to reinstall these parts, and I'm going to install them on the engine, and then we can install the engine onto the chassis. Would you even believe it? I have hardly even started and I already broke a bolt. I'm gonna try and remove it using this easy out. I'm usually not very successful with that, but I think seeming the fact that I'm doing it on camera, it's going to go perfectly, or not perfectly at all. Dull drill. Hold on. Alright, let's see how this goes. Would you believe it? I got it out. Okay, let's continue. Okay guys, before I install the engine, I'm gonna install these brake levers and handbrake lever. I think it'll just be easier to install it now than to try and install it after the engine's been installed. Cool, so now I got this installed, I can install the engine, and I'm also going to install the exhaust and prop shaft, and that'll be it. Let's do it. Cool, I think this looks pretty damn good, if you ask me. There's still a handful of things that I need to do, but at least I think we've come to a point where we can start putting the body back on as soon as we've done some work on the bottom of the body, or the shell. but I'm satisfied with the progress. I think everything's looking very well. There's just one or two things that needs to be done still. I think I'm going to do that off camera. The one is that I did not install the fuel pump because I'm pretty sure that it's not working. So I need to open that one up and see what's going on there. Maybe replace a seal or two. And the other thing is these shocks. Let me just get one of those. These shock absorbers are ready to be installed over there, but these rubber bushings that goes in between are completely buggered, and I need to go and get some new ones. And as you guys probably know, we are experiencing a lockdown at the moment, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to get those, but as soon as I do, I'll install those shock absorbers. But I think that's it for this video. Thank you guys for joining me once again. I really appreciate it, and I will see you the next time. Cheers.